Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I think it is now 6 o'clock. We may begin our event. Let me say a warm welcome to the 2024 Vice Chancellor Excellence Award Ceremony. Are you happy to be here? I know you're chit-chatting and catching up, which is always good. My name is Professor Byron Brown. I'm the Director for Research and Innovation here at the university. As reflected on your program, I am the program director for this evening to guide you through the set of events that have been lined up. A special welcome to all our distinguished guests, our keynote speaker, Mr. Manana from TIA, captains of industry in our midst, particularly representative from the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone office. A special welcome to all our esteemed academics and experts who are receiving awards this evening. A special welcome also to the family members of those colleagues receiving awards. We are delighted to have you in our midst to celebrate with your family member. A special welcome to friends and relatives of UniZulu staff who may not be receiving awards, but who have come to support the event. Special welcome to our DVCs, Prof. Nomlomo, Prof. Kunene, our deans, deputy deans, executive directors, directors, fellow academics, administrators, entertainers, and of course, a gallant welcome to our very own Vice Chancellor and Principal, Prof. Ntosi, in whose honor the event is being held. Warm welcome to you all. Turn to the person next to you and say, welcome. Good to see you. Enjoy this evening. Try to meet someone whom you have not met, who might be new to the university, whom you have not met before, so that by the time you leave this evening, you would have extended your friendship to an additional person. Just a bit of housekeeping. I've been informed that tea and coffee is on the house, and all you need to do is to raise your hand, and a waiter or waitress will come and give you tea or coffee, and it is on the house. Secondly, for those of us who are new to this venue, just to mention that there is a cash bar at the entrance. The restroom also at the back left. And the program is before you on the table so that you can keep track of what is happening. Without any further ado, let me invite Professor Nicolaides to come and start off with a word of prayer. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Vice Chancellor, beloved colleagues and guests. Could I please ask you to be upstanding? In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Good and loving God, we thank you for creating the world in all its beauty. We thank you for memory, which enables us to build on the experiences of the past. We thank you for imagination, which admits us to a wider world than we could have otherwise known. We thank you for the foresight by which we plan for the future. Bless the work of our Vice Chancellor, Directorate, all academics, administrators, and others, all the work that they do on behalf of our students, who through their education will strive to make a difference in this highly troubled world in which we live. We ask on this day that you lead us to value and to celebrate diversity, and to recognize and to offer up on the altar of our common purpose the highly distinctive gifts by which we enrich one another and our mission. Help us to cherish both our talents and our interdependence as we make common cause in the service of you and all your people. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to oversee the operations of our university. We trust in your wisdom as we seek to work hard to make it secure and prosperous. May good practice be the cornerstone of everything we do in our academic endeavors. Come, Lord, and reveal new opportunities and areas for expansion and development as we strive to excel in our numerous tasks. Bless our place of work and give us wisdom and calm. Let the University of Zululand be of great service to others, prospering through decency, honesty, and respect for our colleagues, students, and all our stakeholders. May we be strong and courageous, making wise decisions guided by the Holy Spirit, and not ever be afraid or discouraged. May our university grow and flourish, creating great opportunity for excellence and provision for all those who are educated therein. Bless us as we enter our workplace. May we bring your presence with us in all that we do. We speak your peace, your grace, your everlasting mercy, and your perfect order in all our offices. Lord Jesus Christ, we thank you for the gifts you have blessed us with. We commit to use them responsibly in your honor. Give us a fresh supply of strength to do our work. Anoint all the projects of the university, all the ideas and energy, so that even our smallest accomplishment may bring glory to you, the Father of all. Lord, when we are confused, guide us. When we feel burned out, infuse us with the light of your grace through the Holy Spirit. May the work that we all do and the way that we do it bring faith, joy, and a smile to all that we come into contact with today and always. God bless Unizulu. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. I wish you all a wonderful, healthy, happy, safe evening, and may God's grace be with all of us.
Amen. Thank you very much, Professor and Reverend Nicolaides. We feel truly blessed indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Chancellor's Excellence Award is the grand culmination of celebration of the success of our researchers, innovators, and knowledge disseminators. It is the highest accolade for achievement in research, innovation, and teaching at the university. The aim of the Vice Chancellor's Excellence Award is to recognize members of the university community who may not make who make an outstanding contribution to the university's strategic vision and whose work has been deemed beneficial to the university and to society. Ladies and gentlemen, to welcome us and to tell us more about the awards, assist me in welcoming our Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research and Innovation, Prof. Kunene, to do the welcome and opening remarks. Thank you.
The director of the program, Professor Byron Brown, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Zululand, Professor Mtose, the executive team, management team, the deans of the faculties, and esteemed faculty members, honored guests, support staff, and award recipients. Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2024 Vice Chancellor's Academic Award Ceremony for the University of Zululand. I would like to acknowledge our guest speaker, Mr. Sibusiso Manana, Head of Agriculture Division at the Technology Innovation Agency, or TIA. Thank you, sir, for honoring our invitation at your busy schedule. This ceremony is for recognition of extraordinary efforts, determination, and brilliance demonstrated by academic staff throughout the academic year. It is a day to honor and acknowledge excellence in teaching, research, innovation, and community engagement, qualities which are the core pillars of our institution that are central to our academic mission, but also drive our institution's broader impact on society, the economy, and also on the global community. To make such impact, the institution relies on our educators to play a role in shaping the future by fostering curiosity, critical thinking, and lifelong learning in our students. Today, we recognize those who have gone above and beyond in creating engaging, inclusive, and transformative learning experiences. At the heart of academic excellence lies research, which is essential for advancing knowledge and addressing complex problems to benefit the society at large. But also, more important at our time is the innovation to transform ideas into reality. This is also one of the strategic objectives of the University of Zululand, and it is indicated, as it is indicated in the white paper of Science, Technology, and Innovation 2019. Innovation is one of the driving forces of the development process, and it's essential for growth, for the economic growth, and among other things, it has social, environmental, and educational impact. The social impact of research and of innovation that our researchers make have earned them this well-deserved recognition. There is an inevitable and symbiotic relationship between communities and higher education systems. And significantly, the importance of community engagement is clear as it drives social transformation. Our awardees in this section have demonstrated an extraordinary dedication to social responsibility, empowerment, and collaboration with external partners. I extend my deepest congratulations to all of today's awardees. Your work, commitment, and achievement embodies the University of Zululand's mission to advance knowledge and also inspire learning as well as enrich the society. And it also set a standard of excellence that inspires the students and broader academic community. I got a quote from Brian Tracy, which says, excellence is not a destination. It is a continuous journey that never ends. It is a mindset, a culture, and a way of life. We hope the UniZulu academics will continue to make a difference in the lives of our students and the society. Thank you to our special Vice Chancellor for hosting the academic awards ceremony. Your commitment to recognizing and celebrating academic achievements is a testament to your leadership vision, and we thank you for creating an environment that fosters excellence and innovation. To all, to all our faculties, let us continue to create a vibrant academic community that is dedicated to advancing knowledge and making positive impact on the society. The Vice Chancellor's highlights for 2024, she has not stopped mentioning this or wherever on any committees or meetings, is, is that 22 staff members graduated for doctoral studies. Staff of this shows academic leadership on our researchers, which has also a significant impact to the institution, research output, and reputation. And in addition, 8 of our academics this year got their doctorates from other institutions. This shows how our colleagues are committed to academic excellence, and all this needs to be celebrated. This, I will say, on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, that UniZulu being the institution that has positioned itself as a node for the African thought, we have to continue to ensure our thinking towards the centrality of research, innovation, and learning for Africa's development. Thank you, and let us continue to celebrate the academic excellence.
Yeah, you can just maybe. Thank you very much, Prof. Kunene, for these inspiring words, and we truly feel welcome indeed. I could not agree more. The Vice Chancellor's Excellence Award pays tribute to the individual and collective achievements that sustain UniZulu's reputation as a vibrant place for teaching, research, and innovation excellence. And of course, also as a resource for the community and society. Moving right along, I think we'll have to now invite Prof. Kunene again to the podium to introduce our guest speaker. Help me in welcoming her again.
Thank you. Oh, okay, our keynote speaker is Mr. Sibusiso Manana. Currently holds a position of head of agriculture business unit, which is a strategic technology sector at the Technology Innovation Agency. Mr. Manana is a chemical engineer and holds an MBA qualification. He has 13 years of work experience within the technology and innovation development, 7 of which he has served TIA as both business support services manager and commercialization manager in the agriculture business unit. Prior to working at TIA, he worked in the small and medium enterprise SMME development sector for 10 years as industrial advisor, operations manager, and branch manager at Small Enterprise Development Agency, or SEDA, and the KZN Manufacturing Advisory Center. His work experience in the corporate sector includes having worked for General Motor Corporation, Idwala Carbonates, Mondi Paper, and Anglo American Corporation. Mr. Manana has also served in a number of directorship positions, which include being president and chairperson of South Coast Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Manana is also known as one of the advocates for social and youth innovation, rural development, SMME development, as well as transformation, having said on a number of forums driving interventions in the areas of radical economic transformation and inclusive economic development.
Program Director, let me take this opportunity to extend an honor to the Vice Chancellor, Prof. Mdose, for having invited me to render an item so difficult, but I'll try to make it as easy in the eye and also on the ear to you. Thank you to the DVC, the directors, leadership of the university, esteemed guests, brilliant minds in the room. Let me take this opportunity to say tonight, I greet you all. I am born and bred of South Africa. KZN is my province. I come from Durban. I've traversed and experienced South Africa, but lived mainly in KZN. The brief resume that was shared has left something very important for this evening. For my sins at some stage, I was a teacher in the very same area, teaching at Guahlabisa at a school, taking matriculants. At that time, I was very young, had a lot of energy, and I was taking science students at grade 11 and 12. Without an experience, because I was that learner teacher of teaching, I was taking students on science subject through VENEC. And what was recorded at the end of the year for the first time, the school recorded an A in physics. With no knowledge of teaching, I'm an engineer by profession. And I had stumbled somewhere and got myself in trouble. Then I landed up in that situation where I had to teach. Universities play no games. So I'm one of those who were chucked out at some point. But I returned into the system. With that, I'm trying to actually say I am familiar with the surrounding and the rural nature and the developmental needs of the rural setting. Where I was teaching, an examiner would actually put it to students that they must answer a question about an aeroplane that they never saw. They must be able to picture an escalator or a lift, to write a question about relative velocity. It was so paining to me to learn for the first time that there were people who didn't know or have never seen robots, have never seen an aeroplane, do not know what an escalator looked like, let alone the lift in a building. But they had to answer a question, general, that is answered by everyone and asked to everyone. Remember, I said I didn't have a qualification for teaching. I took a brave stance to try and teach physics in Venek. The results were not as good, but there was an A for the first time that came out. So the ruralness of the areas that we live in have got a lot of challenges that I actually experienced having grown in the township, and how I actually ended up living, teaching, was the pain for the first time of understanding that there are students who actually excel in situations that are not normal. And I would take it the university also admits the same students to come and learn here who have never seen these robots, who have never seen these escalators, who have never experienced the lift because of their rural setting and background that they come from. Some of them, a television set was never heard of except for a radio to listen to the news. That's just a brief background, but that's not what I was asked to come and talk to you about today. In my brief, Prof. Gunene said to me, I need to help shape or bring some clarity on the white paper that was developed in 1992 around science, technology, and innovation in the country, and how it dovetails into the planning for the country and a recently developed document that is the decadal plan. I'm not a politician. I think that was a long shot from the DVC. Hence, I didn't say honorable guests. I assume all of you are honorable. So, as I am not a politician, I actually had to connect the dots to make sense and make meaning of the expectation of today being the Excellence Awards. I have an honor and a slight nerve-wracking responsibility of speaking to you at the intersection of two very important topics: the future of science, technology, and innovation in South Africa, and the critical role of commercializing research. And I promise I'll do my best to make this engaging, and if not entertaining, at least thought-provoking. After all, we are talking about something that could make a huge difference to the economy and society. Not to mention, we are all gathered here because of our passion for shaping the future. Let's start with the white paper on science, technology, and innovation. Don't worry, I'll keep this light. If you've read it, you'll know it's a comprehensive document that's packed with strategies, goals, and challenges. But in essence, the white paper lays out a bold vision for South Africa, where STI is the engine of our economic growth. STI means science, technology, and innovation. It's about solving problems. Yes, it's also about building opportunities. Let's take a pause and reflect on the problems of the country and the globe. The list is endless, but I'm only going to reflect on a few challenges that engulf South Africa today. We all know the ESCOM crisis, the energy crisis, the generation capacity, load shedding, and theft of electricity. But that doesn't stop there. There are solutions. It only requires us to stretch the muscle of our minds and think problems not only as in the context of where we are, but the opportunity that come with them. Climate change is a no-brainer today. We used to talk about it, read about it. It's now upon us. The excessive drought that led to an imminent day zero in Cape Town. The excessive rains and floods that continue to ravage and cause havoc for our communities. It's not only a threat to food security, infrastructure is also challenged. So we need to think solutions to all the challenges that we are faced with. The food security, the food safety, and nutrition security continue to be one of the biggest challenges. The recent reports of about 20 people already that we have lost through foodborne illnesses, let alone the fact that the contributory factor is apportioned to spaza shops. It may not necessarily be the problem, but it is what is engulfing the country and gets everyone talking. We need a solution for it, because out of the 20 people reported to date that have died of foodborne illnesses, it's out of 732 cases reported nationwide. In the US alone, it's about 3,000 people that die per year out of foodborne illnesses, with cases estimated to be about 128,000 in a year. It's still a challenge. It's a problem. Food security report recently from the Department of Agriculture puts the country at about 36% food insecure as South Africans. All these are the challenges that we need to look at, put in our radar, and design the correct questions around them so that we work through the correct solutions. Illegal mining adds to the burdening of challenges. For South Africa, it's a reality. About 70 billion rands is lost through the system in the economy of South Africa through illicit mining. There are solutions. One such solution, I recently read an article from Frost and Sullivan that says we've got geoforensic analysis that could help to track and determine the origins of our gold, diamond, and other minerals. On top of that, you could have optical AI that digs in a unique code to track and trace the authenticity of whatever mineral is in the system, in the supply chain. And blockchain adds a trust that protects the supply chain and its authenticity. The high crime rate cannot be underestimated for its ravages that it has caused to the economy. And it has extended to even include what we call today construction mafia. I don't know if there are any around here in the Zululand area, but no one is immune. Problems, yes, but it's more about opportunities. The problem that these problems present, it's towards challenging the status quo. It's about turning research into impact. And let's face it, academics are good at the first part, that is research. And academics, we love identifying problems. In fact, we can often um, make problems appear out of thin air. If we can try hard enough. But the second part, creating impact, that's where the magic is. That's where commercialization comes in. Therefore, we can comfortably say that the white papers envisions a future where South Africa becomes knowledge-driven economy, leveraging technology and research not just to write articles, but to develop solutions that address real-world problems. Things like energy sustainability, healthcare access, and so forth. And yes, I see you there looking at me and saying, okay, how do we get from here to there? Well, part of the answer lies in the plan I spoke about, the decadal plan. This is the playbook that will guide South Africa's STI efforts over the next 10 years. It's like a recipe of the future. Only instead of flour and sugar, we are working with innovation hubs. In our engagement, I was here last year at the Innovation Week. And this year also I was here at the Innovation Week. Our engagement pointed to the opportunities that exist, primarily at setting up the innovation hubs. This being a depressed region. The picture that I painted when we had an engagement was that in the whole of South Africa, there are only 2 agro stations, agro technology stations in the country. So what does it mean to the efforts of agro-processing our produce? What does it mean to the efforts or the requirements or the needs for us to do some value add on the primary production? What does it mean to the access to the technologies that already are available? If they could set it up in Cape Town and if they could set it up in Limpopo, why not here? So we have an area that we need to have a look at, And if UNISUR is interested, it's one of the areas that could help to change the fortunes of the region. Agro-processing is the next phase of eliminating what we call food wastage in the system. If we see what's happening with our fresh produce that we take in bulk and actually send to the market, it rots, having not been processed to value add. If we proactively engage and set up these facilities, we will enable the access to technologies, enable our people to have opportunity at setting up these agro-processing opportunities, turning them into small businesses. Of course, the innovation hubs are not the only solution. We need to have a complete entrepreneurial ecosystem coupled with R&D investment. The digital plan takes the bold vision of a white paper and gives it some tangible direction. It pushes for stronger conversion between research and connections between research and industry, more emphasis on commercializing innovations, and an ecosystem that encourages entrepreneurship. But I don't want to leave it at only that. But we should include service delivery as only very few initiatives that when we look at knowledge that has been developed is cited or directed at improving service delivery. Maybe our mindset is about driving profits and getting money into our pockets. It's not all innovations that should be directed at making profits. An example that I can draw your attention to, when AIDS was ravaging our country, there were a lot of innovations and solutions that were presented, but they were not presented for profit. One amongst them is the development of a condom. Only government was prepared and was only a buyer for this type of solution, as people had already had a lot of reasons why not to use them, let alone the cost it was associated with. So our country could have been ravaged with AIDS. But government was the only customer that was prepared to buy the product. So if we change our mindset and look at what challenges exist out there and what opportunities exist out there that government is seized with, perhaps it calls upon us to read and get to engage with the documents of the procurement office or treasurer general's office to find out exactly what is it that they procure, so that we understand an element of where we need to put our emphasis in terms of we don't have to struggle to make service delivery and happen, but we direct efforts that are intended based on what government pain points are. And we shouldn't actually only be looking at profit-driven initiatives. It's about turning the excellent paper you've just published on a new agricultural technology that something can happen, which is something that can help farmers in Limpopo or even into products that's sold internationally. Let's face it, when your research is not only published, but it has a potential to generate revenue and solve real world problems, it's a sweet spot, isn't it? I guess that's the point that we have to actually start to shape our thinking, that some of the solutions really may not need to be directed at profit driven initiatives. But as much as we all are inspired by the decadal pen, the reality is that commercialization doesn't happen overnight. It's a real difficult game. An example I can draw your attention to is during the COVID-19 pandemic in the country, there was a big rush to develop candidate vaccines with massive capacity that South Africa has. We were able to speed up the process, hand over the dossier to the American big guns who came back with a solution, license it back to South Africa, already having secured the market, and they were leaders in the market. Having already secured their slice, then they gave us a license. In Gqeberha, we put in about 400 billion US dollars to set up a facility, Aspen Pharmaceutical, on the back of a license from J&J to produce about 400 million doses. What happened next, you ask me? Out of that 400 million dose potential, to date, there is zero sales of those COVID vaccines that were developed in Gqeberha, such that the company had to shut the line down. It is not an easy job. So we may talk about commercialization as if, yes, it's something that we should actually try and do all the time. Yes, it's important, but it's a difficult job to do. After a sunken 400 million, still to date, no sales of a single dose of the vaccine that was developed in Gqeberha. But the journey continues. We have to continue to forge forward and develop the vaccine capability, vaccine production capability in South Africa for other diseases. We need to prepare for an imminent pandemic that in plus minus 10 years is going to hit our shores. This thing is cyclical. We better be prepared. Not like it happened in the past where we scrambled for vaccines and we were at the mercy of the European Union to get a rationing of the vaccines. South Africa has to get up its haunches and develop its vaccine capability. It's not simply as publish and profit formula. It's a journey that involves collaboration, persistence, and yes, a little bit of chaos. If you think it runs in the straight line, no, it's iterative. It's a journey that is chaotic, of course. After all, whoever said innovation was easy? If it were easy, we'd all be billionaires now, right? And instead of struggling with grant applications, we'd be sipping cocktails in some beach in the Caribbean, only worrying about whether we have a Wi-Fi signal by the poolside where we would be sitting. But in South Africa, we have something even better than an easy path: opportunity and potential. In the South African context, commercialization is not only about making money, it's about changing lives. When we talk about commercialization here, we're talking about creating jobs, empowering communities, and driving economic growth, all while contributing to South Africa's global competitiveness in the fields of technology and innovation. We know about the story of chicken dumping or poultry dumping in South Africa as a result of the non-competitiveness in our value chain in poultry sector. It still is. And hence the reason that we are actually advocating for. Yes, we need to put a lot of investment to assist industry to be competitive. However, from a government perspective, if we put our money in innovation or developing any technologies, we see the opportunity of creating new industries, new value chains. As in how we interpret this, if we take the technology that we have developed and give it to already established sector, that is the commercial sector, we are actually wasting time in that the commercial sector is heavily laden with a lot of commitment. They are heavily invested. Their shareholders want profits. So if you want to ask for jobs from the commercial sector, you are barking at the wrong tree. So we should use our energy and effort to generate innovations and new technologies to start new companies. Focus on a small enterprise development sector. That is the only sector for any economy that is poised for growth. The corporate sector can't grow any further. They can only grow the bottom line, their profits. But the small scale sector, smallholder farmers, the SMMEs, are the only hope for any growing economy. So we'll be amiss to use technology that we would have developed with hard-earned opportunity, time, and investment. Then we hand it over to the corporate sector to perpetuate the monopoly. Who would not want to have an advantage? If you give Pick and Pay and a very exclusive IP today, they will never share with anyone because you will have given them an advantage and they will actually continue to increase profit lines, and it's not their business to increase jobs, but the small business sector. Now, let's be real for a moment. As academics, many of us are not trained to be entrepreneurs, right? As some of us might even struggle at some point just to get our laundry arrangements on time. So the pain of being an entrepreneur is something else. It's not for the faint-hearted. Let alone that we have as academics to navigate the complexities of intellectual property law. In our engagement at some point in one of the sessions at the Innovation Week, we spoke at length about the positioning of the university when it comes to IP handling. Should the university continue all the way to setting up a company? Or what the role of the university is when it comes to IP development and licensing? There was a feeling that there is a good opportunity if the university was to focus at developing a lot of IP for licensing and make it their business to sell the licenses and support the development and incremental improvements on whatever has been developed to support whoever is licensed, but build it on top of a license, whatever improvements would have done. I don't have a formula of how to do that. It's just a thought that came through in our discussion that seems to make sense so as to be focused. But only one knows where the value lies in the IP development that the university might choose a different path. But the truth is, world is changing. Industry wants what you have, that is IP. Cutting edge knowledge, new ideas, and research that can be turned into something practical. Of course, that having been said, the university needs to meet them halfway. And this, of course, brings us back to commercialization. When we talk about commercializing research, we're not talking about handing over your research findings to the nearest venture capitalist and hoping they'll turn it into a tech unicorn. We're talking about collaboration, working with entrepreneurs, industry partners, investors, even local communities to ensure that your research doesn't sit on the shelf collecting dust. In fact, one of the great things about the digital plan is that it emphasizes inclusive innovation. Many a times we work with communities, we work with smallholder farmers, we work with the youth, but we also leave them behind when we have realized whatever value that we wanted to create. Inclusive development is not only about enriching the few. We've learned the hard way. Most of our research work went to the erstwhile white institutions, and we have little investment in our former black universities. And it is our duty and call for a more active engagement in that front, as we see that the level of inclusivity when it comes to IP development is skewed towards established universities with all the frills, and we have left behind our previously black universities. So inclusivity in this aspect of the plan is emphasized, and it is the main reason as the Technology Innovation Agency we are making a call to actively engage with the university. This isn't just about creating the next Silicon Valley in Johannesburg and Cape Town. It can also be established right here. This is about creating opportunity for everyone from urban centers to rural communities. And that, I think, is not the most exciting thing about the journey, about this journey. It's not just about building global markets, but about ensuring the local communities benefit from the innovations as well. Guess what? Government is the biggest procurer of goods and services in the country. Do we know what those goods are? Do we know what those services are? Where do we source such kind of information? How do we connect the dots here as we engage on the path of developing knowledge and IP for the markets? Now let's bring it back to academia. I see many of you today who have already taken those first brave steps towards commercialization. As in our last engagement, there was a good pool of portfolio of IP that I observed could be ready for commercialization. It's only a matter of time. Maybe you've filed a patent, perhaps you've launched a startup, or maybe you are just trying to figure out how to transform your doctoral thesis into something that doesn't make people's eye glaze over you, glaze over. Whatever stage you are at, know this: you are part of something bigger. You are contributing not only to the academic world, but also to an ecosystem of research, entrepreneurship, and industry that is poised to take South Africa to the new heights. And let's be honest, academia can sometimes feel like a hamster wheel. Publish, present, and repeat. But the reality is, commercializing your research is like stepping off the wheel and realizing you've got a chance to make a difference. Sure, the journey might involve more paperwork, but than you expected, probably more than you would like. And you might feel like you've just been handed an advanced degree in juggling tasks. But in the end, the rewards are real. You are not just adding to the body of knowledge, you are adding to the economic vitality of the country. So as we move forward with the goals outlined in the white paper and the decadal plan, I urge you to keep your eyes on the prize. Yes, the prize is academic and research excellence, but it's also the impact your work can have on the world around us. Whether you're working on a medical technology that can save lives or a new agricultural system that can boost food security or a new app that can improve urban mobility, your research has potential to change the game. In closing, let me congratulate all of you here tonight. Whether you are just starting on the academic or research work, or on your commercialization journey, or whether you are already well on your way, your work is a testimony to the incredible potential of South Africa's academic, research, and innovation ecosystem. The future is bright, and with the guidance of the white paper and the decadal plan, we are on a path that will truly transform the country. DVC, VC, thank you. And let me say bravo to all of you here tonight for your excellent work. Continue to push the boundaries of what's possible academically, innovatively, and entrepreneurially. Thank you, colleagues.
Let's have another round of applause for Mr. Manana. Very inspiring, very encouraging, and at the same time, challenging speech. We notice, Mr. Manana, how you went about gaining attention. You know, he tell a story about his teaching days, and captivate us because he knows we are teachers. So he tell us his story and gain our attention, and we are very, and you kept us. But along the way, you challenge us to look differently at the problems, the wicked problems that we face as a society. And for us to pay attention to those wicked problems rather than those, as you said, pulled from the sky, from thin air, right? But true to form, and this is what I expect coming from Tia, you've spent a lot of time challenging us to become a solution driven university. And we take particular keen note to the call for us to consider a technology station or an innovation hub of some sort around agriculture, food processing. We take note of that. Um, we also took note of the challenge and the reminder that we should make our research be for development. And I think the idea of giving back, reciprocity, comes out quite strongly as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Mr. Manana another round of applause. I think we have listened quite a bit. I think it's time for us to shake our legs. It's time for us to get a bit of entertainment. Are we ready with our entertainment at the back there? Let's have, go ahead. Let's have a bit of shaking. Let's shake our shoulders and our legs. Right on front.
Breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. I believe in you. You know the door to my very soul. You're the light in my deepest, darkest hour. You're my savior when I fall. And you may not think that I care for you when you know deep down inside I really do. And it's me you need to show. How deep is your love? Is your love? Deep is your love? I really need to learn, 'cause we living in the world of fools, breaking us down when they all should let us be. We belong to you and me. San Monani. My name is Tabile N. This one Kulelanje just for a while tonight. Need right? Alright. Bayege bakulume batele. Babenge kushisakala fele. Uthando lwakhe enhlizweni lugcwele. Mina baby ngizimisele. Ngithi bayeke bakhulume batele. Babengekho sisaqala vele. futhi uthando lwakhe enhlizweni lugcwele. Mina nawe baby ngizimisele, lithi leli culo mina nawe sisuka kude, lithi futhi mina nawe siya kude. Mina nawe sisuka kude, hey yeah, mina nawe siya kude, futhi ithemba lami nguwe baby, themba lami nguwe, nguwe ithemba lami, ithemba lami nguwe baby, ithemba lami nguwe, nguwe ithemba lami, ithemba lami nguwe baby, ithemba lami nguwe, nguwe ithemba lami, mina nawe sisuka kude, uthi mina nawe siya kude, mina nawe sisuka kude, yebo futhi mina nawe siya kude. Omalume bayikhokhe zonke, nomakhelwane sibameme bonke, amalungiselelo siwenza wonke, ophelazi awushaya namhlanje, mina ngifuna bebone, ngifuna bebone, mina nawe sisuka kude, mina ngifuna bebone, mina nawe siya kude, mina ngifuna bebone, mina nawe suka kude, mina ngifuna bebone, mina nawe siya kude, ithemba lami kuwe baby, ithemba lami kuwe, nguwe ithemba lami.
UniZulu is arguably blessed with one of the most effective vice chancellors in its history. A university is only as good as its vice chancellor or its leader. There are many examples of exceptionality that we could point at. The bold step to build an African university, to decolonize the education that the university provides, to restore the reputation of the university. These are just examples of the exceptionality that we could point at to demonstrate the extraordinary leader that we have as a vice chancellor. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Vice Chancellor, we have some big screen on the side here as well. And we have decided to do a bit of put a twist to the event this year. So just before we get into the award ceremony, we have something to show you. Can we plug in for a big screen?
As part of its current strategic plan, the University of Zululand seeks to be recognized as a leading comprehensive African university that thrives on quality and fosters collaborative and innovative cultures with its rural and urban campuses. To achieve the latter, its staff cohort constantly conducts high-impact research and community engagement projects that intend to address societal issues in the African context. This is in line with the university's pursuit of being a node for African thought.
Our recent publication contributes to the scholarship of African thought. It challenges prevailing misconception about Africa using Afrocentricity theory. We debunk the dark continent myth, asserting Africa capacity for knowledge production. The notion that intelligence is tied to skin color. Our work reclaims Africa's intellectual heritage, promoting a nuanced understanding of African.
While the university is excited by the growing number of African thought-focused papers that have been published, it encourages its academic staff complement to conduct more research in this space. UniZulu has multiple innovative research projects. Among these are the Consumer Science Department's various innovations involving indigenous foods.
Sithi masibuyele emasisweni through food innovation, where we utilize the indigenous foods that grow abundantly in our area. We are providing solutions to hunger as well as the Africa that we want. We are developing food products that are suitable for feeding schemes as well as the vulnerabilities that we have actually experienced in our own province. Sithi asisebenziseni ukudla kwesintu. Indigenous food is the way to go.
We have developed a range of indigenous food innovations that are set to change the current food market that exists. These innovations include cereals, beverages, as well as flour premixes. Our products are easy on the consumer's palates and has been tested throughout different provinces in South Africa. We have partnered with Siyasisiza Trust as well as Wakanda Food Accelerator. And our partners have indicated that our food products have the potential to enter into the retail space. These products provide innovative solutions to the consumer, meeting both the nutritional requirements as well as being easy on the palate. And in terms of our product availability, soon they will be in stores close to you.
Another department that is excelling in innovation is the Department of Agriculture. Its project entails the commercialization of vegetable oils extracted from fruits of two similar plants, umkwakwa and Strychnos pungens. The institution is also home to multiple labs with high-tech research equipment. Among these is the high-resolution transmission electron microscopy, an instrument which uses a beam of electrons to create magnified images of ultra-thin specimens. This is one of two machines in South Africa.
We have been working in the area of nanotechnology at the University of Zululand since 2000. We were one of the first universities to get into this field. Our area of interest is the preparation or synthesis of nanomaterials, which are very, very small materials. To give you an example, the size, or 1 millionth the size of a strand of hair. So in order to view these materials, we require the use of a microscope. We acquired a new microscope this year, which is the Joule F200 microscope to the value of 25 million rands. We are only one of two universities that have this microscope. We are very, very grateful to the university for funding and helping to fund the microscope and the position of the operator of the microscope. We are able to link the performance of the material to the structure of the material, which we will obtain from the microscope. The actual information that we obtain from the microscope will help us to publish work in very high impact factor journals.
UniZulu understands that in order to effect impactful solutions and further excel in its research pursuits, collaboration is essential. Testament to this is the Department of Hydrology's Memorandum of Cooperation with Chang'an University in China. The project seeks to find practical solutions to key global water challenges through conducting and co-publishing research, hosting conferences, and knowledge sharing.
International Research Center for Water Science and Technology is a part of Department of Hydrology. More than 20 postgraduate students are working under this center. Also, 5 postdoctoral fellows are currently working under this center. In future, this number can be increased. Many publications was published with international journals. We organized the International Conference of Water and Environmental Sustainability during the August 2024 was organized successfully. Also in future, the 2025 August 17th to 20th is one of the biggest conference we are expecting to organized in the Durban ICC. It's more than 60 countries will be participated this conference. Also, we are our collaboration partners is more than 20 countries are across the world. We are doing many projects, so our students also is always traveling to the overseas. But in futures, our future plan is expecting to control the water scarcity and the water resources management of the University of Zululand as well as the South Africa.
One of the pillars of the institution is community engagement, and this is evidenced by the multiple projects run with various communities. One of these is the Teaching Economics Entrepreneurship Education Program, run by a group of staff in the Faculty of Commerce, Administration, and Law, with the assistance of student volunteers. The project seeks to transfer essential economics knowledge and entrepreneurial skills through a unique teaching model, which entails using, among other things, short stories to teach learners. The project has benefited 260 primary school learners in Esikhaweni.
We are supporting researchers in a variety of ways. We do have article processing fees that we pay when researchers do their publications and want to get their work into journal. Another one is in terms of emerging researchers funding so that they can get their research work off the ground and so on. Another funding area is in terms of research and development. So we have a variety of training programs that we undertake to build the capacity of researchers. And the final area of research support is in terms of infrastructure. And so we put aside budget for repair and maintenance of research equipment and also for procuring new equipment. The resources allocated to research and innovation at the university is a reflection of the commitment at the highest level of the university. We have to acknowledge the influence of our Vice Chancellor, Prof. Ntosi. She has been the driving force in terms of providing the strategic vision for growing research and innovation at the institution. Let me also acknowledge the role of the DVC Prof. Kunene. She has been in the forefront in terms of seeking out opportunity in the external environment for funding for research work at the university. So overall, it has been a team effort in terms of trying to drive research and innovation work at the university, the purpose of which is to produce knowledge, to develop innovation that can have a positive impact on society. I didn't realize I was in there. But we wanted Vice Chancellor to bring the voices of our researchers and innovators and our teachers into this room. I know quite often you don't have the chance to see some of these things, and I thought a good summary would make the evening more special. So we thank you for your leadership. This is what your leadership has produced. Many of these individuals whom we have seen in the clip are here with us this evening and will be receiving awards as when we get to that stage. But as you would have noticed, we are trying to showcase research in certain niche areas. Of course, we selected certain labs and we were focusing on three of them in this case, food science. And I know, Mr. Manana, you have emphasized the issue of food security. And we wanted to showcase that indeed there's work being done on that. But also, Prof. Nerish and the nanoscience, the work that he's doing in that regard. A lot of work is being done on water, energy, agriculture, and we thought we should showcase this. The video is a product of CMD, and we really need to give CMD a round of applause for this clipping. So we have worked with Naledi and Sam Kelly, along with Sianda from CMD, to develop this, and it's quite an inspiring video for us. So moving right along, we have now come to the main event, being the awarding of certificates and trophies for outstanding achievements. So this evening, we will present awards along three themes: research and innovation, teaching and learning, and community engagement. And we'll take turn in doing these. Mr. Manana, these awards are given to individuals or groups whose work brought credit and visibility to the institution. The awards are intended to be sources of inspiration and motivation. So we'll begin with the Research and Innovation Award. And to do this, ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome Prof. Kunene in present and the Vice Chancellor in presenting the awards to the recipient of for excellence in research and innovation. Prof. Kunene, let's see. Now, just by way of process, we'll have the recipient come on stage via this set of steps, and then to exit, there are another set of steps on the side there. Ooh.
Okay. So the type of award is the Vice Chancellor's Award for Excellence in Research in the category of research. So the recipient of the VC Research Excellent Award are individuals who have demonstrated excellence in productivity, including supervision, external funding, innovation development, and research impact. Community partnership and projected the university in a positive light to the world. The winners are Dr. K.D. Ilemsami in economics, and Prof. K. Syed in biochemistry and microbiology. Okay. So it will go. So the next award is that of Established Researcher Award. The recipient of the Established Researcher Award are mid-career individuals who have demonstrated excellence in research. The winners are Prof. I.O. Ezeduchi in recreation and tourism, who he is recognized by his peers in producing quality work, the core of which has coherence to ongoing engagement with the field, which resulted in him moving to a C3 rated researcher. And then Prof. N. Revaprasado in chemistry, enjoy considerable international recognition by his peers for the high quality and impact of his research output, which resulted in him moving to a B2 rated researcher. So the next type of award is that of emerging researcher. The recipient of the Emerging Researcher Award are early career individuals who have demonstrated excellence in research in that they showed potential to establish themselves as independent researchers, produce high quality accredited publications, demonstrated leadership in building research capacity through postgraduate supervision, have public and community engagement outputs reflected in at least one research partnership and one project with business sector or one public and community engagement project. participated in activities with the scholarly community and in research administration within the university. The winner is Dr. S. Dlamini in criminal justice. He's actively involved with the Department of Correctional Services in the establishment of a correctional service learning academy in Umlalazi municipality in the role of traditional leaders in crime fighting and prevention. The next type of award is that of a higher degree research supervision award. The recipient of higher degree research supervision award are supervisors who performed with distinction across the various dimensions of excellence in supervision. The winners are Prof. J.M. Mdiniso, Anthropology and Development Studies. Prof. N. Rivaprasadu in Chemistry. Prof. I. Moyo, Geography. Prof. N.N. Jili Mbanjwa, Public Admin. Prof. A.P. Kutame, Social Sciences Education. Okay. The next award category is Innovation and Creatives category. And the type of award is Vice Chancellor's Award in Excellence in Innovation. The recipient of Vice Chancellor's Award for Innovation is IP creators who made concerted effort towards commercializing their technology and sourced external development funding for that purpose. The winner is Prof. Evelyn Madoroba, Biochemistry and Microbiology, for developing a starter culture for fermented sorghum flour, which transforms the taste and the shelf life of the flour. And then in this category, we also have Intellectual Property Creator Award. The recipient of IP Creator Award goes to Prof. Fabian N. Fon, who made an actionable disclosure of an IP of an IP design game Greek adventure. Game Greek Adventures is a game designed for game-based learning, primarily aimed at university students and a wider community. And then the next award category is recognition category. And this is a award for departmental recognition for research or innovation excellence. These are academic departments which can submit proof of external recognition for achieving research or innovation excellence. So the winners are first, chemistry, the nanotechnology group, for their innovation in nanotechnology and the launch of the HR-TEM lab on the 1st of August 2024. And then the consumer science for their food innovation in Imbo legumes and pulses, recipe book, ancient grains and leafy vegetable for school feeding schemes, potato value adding and recipe formulation, all which have received external recognition. Okay, now the category of, we have a special award where the type of award is a first one, top research output award. The recipient of top research output award are researchers who have published the largest number of single authored research papers in 2023 and 2024. The winner is Dr. O.A. Ajahn. And finally, under the special awards, we have the postdoctoral award. The recipient of postdoctoral award is postdocs who have published the largest number of research papers in 2023 and 24. The winner is Dr. Andrew Enafog.
Yes. Okay, so that concludes the awards for the research excellence in research and innovation. A big congratulations to all our recipients. Can we have another round of applause? A special congratulations to our postdoc, Dr. Andrew. It is the first time that we include postdoc in the VC awards, and we thought that it's quite fitting. We are truly proud of the contributions. Now we move to the next category of awards, teaching and learning. And to do this, I invite Prof. Namlomo alongside the DVC. Can we give Prof. Namlomo a big hand, please?
Joking. Uh, Oh, okay. Thank you, Program Director, Professor Brown, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Mdose. I'm not going to take long. I must just say that greetings have already been extended by Professor Kunene in her opening address. May I just say briefly, protocol observed. Now I'm going to call out the Teaching and Learning Awards. And may I draw your attention to our mission, UniZulu mission, behind the Vice Chancellor. It reads as that as the University of Zululand, we produce globally competitive graduates relevant to the development needs of the country and engage with society for the betterment of all. Why am I referring you to that clause, which is the most important clause? It's because for any graduate to be produced, we need a teacher, a good teacher. And we have a good teacher as Prof. Brown. We are rich as the University of Zululand. We have seen our researchers, we have seen our innovators, and we have seen, and now we are going to see colleagues who are down there in the field, molding the young minds so that at the end we can get engineers. We can get everything that we see here. We can get academics. We can get researchers. We can get innovators. So we want to thank the Vice Chancellor for giving us that opportunity, because we've been in the field for a long time, and teaching and learning has been put at the periphery. But I'm happy now that all the institutions are beginning to acknowledge teaching and learning. So, Vice Chancellor, we have three categories of our teachers whom we are recognizing this evening. The first category is the category of our emerging teachers. Who are these teachers? These are teachers who have experience and recognition, but they are relatively new educators. Often early in their teaching career, and they are still trying to build their reputation. But they exhibit excellence in their teaching in the classroom. And they are gaining legal experience to make an impact in the lives of the students.
And I will start then with that category of emerging teachers. So under this category of emerging teachers, the second runner-up is none other than Dr. Gumbi. Dr. Gumbi, please come forward. And the first runner-up for this category of emerging teachers is Dr. X Kanyile. Thank you, Dr. Kanyile. And the winner in the category of emerging teachers is Dr. Dlamini, Dr. J.B. Dlamini. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Now we're moving to the next category, the category of established teachers. Who are these teachers? These are mid-career teachers or educators with substantial teaching experience, and they are gaining recognition, or they have gained recognition in their own institution, that is inside, and they are being exposed into the professional network. They have demonstrated solid and effective teaching practices, showing dedication to student success. And their work is impactful in that they are able to develop curricula, can transfer their teaching into research, and they employ pedagogical innovation, Mr. Manana, and they serve as mentors to the emerging ones that we have just seen. And in that category, the second runner-up is Dr. G.S. Nkosi. The first runner-up in the category of established educators is Dr. T.W. Chinaka. And the winner in the established category is Dr. K. Naidu. Vice Chancellor, now we're going to deal with the last category of educators, distinguished educators. These are highly experienced educators with perhaps decades of teaching experience, who are widely recognized as leaders in their own fields. They have teaching excellence, which is demonstrated through exceptional teaching practices and innovative teaching practices. And they have a significant influence on their students and mentees. They are known for their ability to innovate and adapt teaching methods. And their practice is impactful at a national and international level. So they have national and international reputation. And we are talking about Omakwekwet. Ewe, the second runner-up in this category of Omakwekwet is Professor M. Vezi Magigaba. The first runner-up in the category of distinguished teachers is Professor I. Ezeduji. And our distinguished educator for the year is Prof. S. Zoe. I have to go down. I'll use the towel.
A big congratulations to our recipients. Can we have another round of applause for? It is interesting and exciting to see how the researchers are balancing as teachers and doing both very well, not only in the emerging category or developing category, but in the distinguished category of teaching and learning. So there's a big congratulations for that. Moving right along, we now go to the final category of awards, which is Community Engagement Excellence. And to do the honors, we then invite Prof. Namlomo again, along with the Vice Chancellor. I know it's a lot of stress on your legs, but we're almost there.
Thank you very much, Professor Brown. Now we're coming to community engagement as one of the pillars in higher education. Vice Chancellor, I just want to indicate that within community engagement, there are two groups. Individuals, we are recognizing individuals who are excelling in terms of the work they do with the communities. And we are also recognizing teamwork. As it was stated earlier on that we promote collaboration. So we're also doing that within community engagement. And the same categories apply, that we have those who are still emerging, those who are established, and those who are distinguished. So this, we have a very few individuals here. In fact, we have one individual who is receiving, who is being awarded in community engagement by being engaged in a community outreach, working with schools to create an inclusive and collaborative learning environment that fosters critical thinking in physical science. And here the winner is Dr. Ketachu Mengisti. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. And now that was an individual award. Congratulations to Dr. Mangisti. Now we're going to the group. We're recognizing groups or teams here. And the first team that we are recognizing is within the level, is established. Let me say it's an established team. That means it's academics or colleagues who are experienced, whose work has an impact, societal impact, who are doing well, who have gained national recognition. And this team has been working on entrepreneurship and economic literacy among primary school students. and it has trained 21 young adults on new techniques of learning. Please excuse me, Vice Chancellor, a bit. And it is led by our esteemed Dean, the Dean of the Faculty of Commerce, Administration and Law. So we are recognizing her team, which comprises Dr. N. Wainkomo, Dr. Numalo, and Mrs. Ayandibu. So up with Prof. Trailing, the leader. Trust your heart. I gave you my word. Right from the start. Baby, believe me. You wanted the same for yourself. All you really wanted was to have for yourself. Congratulations to the team called Teaching Economics Entrepreneurship Education. That is TEAC. The last group for the day falls under the distinguished category. And this group is is busy with a multidisciplinary project aiming at instilling a culture of self-sufficiency and empowering learners to gain skills in food production that they can carry into their homes and communities. And what the outcomes, that's why they are called distinguished, not extinguished. That's why they are called distinguished community engagement scholars, because they've been able to strengthen partnership beyond communities to include the private sector as Ituba's One School, One Garden program. And they have been able to formally establish the Sipila Kanje integrated climate smart innovative school gardens. And they are recognized by the government in terms of leading in the sector, in the agricultural sector. So they have been recognized by the Department of Agriculture to participate in the 2023 World Food Day event in Mapumulo local municipality that was held in partnership with the Food and Agriculture Organization. And I'm referring now to a team which was involved in the Asipile Kanje and climate change project, led by Professor Unati Kolanisi, and the members of this group, the members the members who worked with Prof. Kolanisi must also come up. Professor Samantha Govender, Professor B.T. Gamede, Professor Kutame, Professor Sibanda, Dr. Palmer, Mr. Aim Tembu, and Mr. S. Mbanza. Congratulations.
Very inspiring projects indeed. I like the excitement that really comes out when the awards are given. When the awards are given, can we have another round of applause for the CE recipients? Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the awarding ceremony and also this aspect of the program. I know Prof. Moyo, and this time I have to be careful about the Moyos. G. Moyo would have an interpretation for the smiles that we saw on the faces of the recipient. He attached meaning to these smiles. But I know if we to look at in the spirit of the African University, we can take one of the proverbs from Cameroon, which says, "There is no shortcut to the top of the palm tree." What this really means is that success requires efforts, perseverance, and dedication. The palm tree bears its fruits at the top, and there's no alternative way to get to the top other than to make the effort to climb vertically to the top. So, for those of us who have not received any award this year, but just be inspired, put some more efforts, be committed, and I'm sure next year will be your year. We have now come to the point where we do a bit of appreciation, but before that, I think we deserve to have a bit of shaking of the shoulders. can we have at least one song just to continue the celebration and the smiles that we have? Mr. Music Man, go ahead.
Uyaluba sithanda nesilale madonge dibanjwa nguwe. Uyaluba sithanda nesilale madonge kuwe lo. Uyaluba sithanda nesilale madonge ethiwa nguwe. Uyaluba sithanda nesilale madonge. Basali bam, ngibizeleni unomvula wam. Sethani naye, ngithani yibhile ndawona. Basali bam, ngibizeleni sithando sam. Ngithani kuso, ngithani yibhile ndawona. Sithando sam, salayisha imoto emasimini salayisha. Ngoba nilindile, salayisha imoto emasimini salayisha. Sithando sam, salayisha imoto emasimini salayisha. Ngoba nilindile, salayisha imoto emasimini salayisha. Uloliwe ai tutula, uloliwe ai tutula, uloliwe ai tutula. Nawasita, uloliwe ai tutula, uloliwe ai tutula, uloliwe ai tutula. Nawasisa. Sofela konempini ngeke basikhona lingashona mina ngiyathemba uyabona. Sofela konempini ngeke basikhona lingashona mina. Ngelinye ixesha sithanda sami kuba ngathi awuluboni uthando lwami. Ngelinye ixesha sithanda sami ndibangazama awuyiboni imizamo yami. Kodwa xa ngekho eduze kwakho uyayazi kuba njani na. Kuba xa ngekho eduze kwami uyayazi kuba njani kum. Uyenza buhlungu inhliziyo yami, umenza ngingalali ebusuku. Uyenza buhlungu inhliziyo yami, uyenza ngizibuze imibuzo. Uyenza buhlungu inhliziyo yami, uyenza ngingalali ebusuku. Uyenza buhlungu inhliziyo yami, uyenza ngizibuze imibuzo. Dani, Dani na lemibuzo endinayo ngawe. Busa, let me busa. Yani, Deanina, let me busa. Deanina, what's on the busa, let me busa. Yeah. Dihambile, divonile, ngimfumene, diyamthanda, bani Lord, uthetha ngaye, kuwesandwa sami. Dihambile, divonile, diyamthanda, Hallelujah, Sana sa, Sando sam, Sando sam, Sando sam. Send us out. Hey, yeah, yeah. Mighty Lord, it's again. Send us out. Help me say, oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, mighty Lord, it's again.
Thank you very much for those renditions. Beautiful indeed, and we do enjoy such rockers. Vice Chancellor, we now move to the penultimate phase of the program, and I now invite you to do appreciation of the guest.
Mr. Manana, you are being appreciated.
Let's have another round of applause. Okay, as the Vice Chancellor makes her way down, we now move to the final section, which is the closing remark and vote of thanks. And to do this is Prof. Namlomo.
Thank you very much, Program Director Professor Brown. Mine is just to extend a vote of thanks. Firstly, I would like to appreciate and thank our Vice Chancellor first for your presence and for honoring us with this beautiful event, the VC's Academic Excellence Awards. I think as a teacher, the teacher in me is saying anyone or any child gets motivated through recognition. So we appreciate that you recognize the hard work that our staff members are doing in the various areas of our institution, that is research, teaching and learning, and community engagement. So we want to thank you for that. That is the first part. The second part is the role that we have played here, standing here for for almost an hour, shaking each and every hand, cold hands, warm hands, shaky hands, sweaty hands. So appreciate you for that. Thank you. And our thanks also goes to the executive management. We have our DVC Prof. Kunene here who made the opening remarks, and umqeshi wethu sonke bethuna asikwazi ukungamhloniphi otherwise Umapoloba, thank you very much for your presence and for appreciating us. When you hire us, you must know that we do our work. This is testament that we do the work you hire us to do. Ne? Thank you very much. And also the deans, Betunana, the deans, the work that is happening in the faculties wouldn't be here if there was no leadership in the faculties. I want to thank the deans of the 4 faculties for the leadership they have played in terms of supporting their staff so that they can come here and be appreciated in these awards. And most importantly, the deputy deans. They are doing the operational work. The deputy deans, they are there. The deans are driving the strategy, but on the ground are the deputy deans. And I want to appreciate the deputy deans research, deputy deans teaching and learning. We thank you for the work. Sometimes we overload you. But we want to thank you because you are visible and sometimes you work behind the screens, but your work is showing in front. Thank you so much. Our staff here, academic and support staff who are here, we would like to acknowledge your presence and thank you for coming. And the recipients of the awards. Firstly, congratulations. And we also want to thank you for participating in building up your portfolios. It's hard work. But we want to appreciate you for the time you took to build up your portfolios so that you can showcase your work. Otherwise, without you, we wouldn't be having this event. So thank you very much for that. And I know that academics don't sleep. Sometimes perhaps your partners would be asking what's happening. And I'm happy that some of you have brought their partners to see the work that you are doing. It bears fruit. When they are not there, they are working, either writing papers or preparing for their work. So the families, the partners, everyone who is here from the families, we want to thank them. And I can't forget, I'm coming to our guest speaker. I can't forget our guest speaker. And I also want to thank the two offices of our directors, Director of Research and Innovation. You can see that he has made an innovation in 2024, Professor Brown. We want to thank you for the innovation that you made. And the office, the Teaching and Learning Director, Professor Kuzwayo, we want to thank you for making this event bright like this. And your teams, you work with teams, we want to appreciate and thank your teams in the two directorates. We have our new community engagement manager, Ms. Mbandazayo. Thank you, Ms. Mbandazayo. We threw you in the deep end. You didn't sink, but you swam. So thank you very much. We appreciate your efforts. And the office of the CMD office, sometimes we don't thank you enough for the work that you are doing. You are putting us out there in the world to be seen, the work that we do at Unizulu. You make us pause like you did when we came in, but we always appreciate the work they are doing, that you are doing for us. And we want to thank you also for capturing this event this evening. To the band that kept us alive, I saw people dancing there. Besisho uba bayathandana balala emadongeni. I saw them down there. Yes, that's what Cebile is. It Cebile? Yes, she was saying that. So bazawulala emadongeni ke. So thank you, Cebile, for the good music. You entertained us, and I think you have been rewarded by Professor Fon. But I hope Professor Fon is not going to be in trouble. We thank you for keeping us alive. And before I go down to the hotel staff, let me thank our honorable guest speaker. Last but not least, Mr. Manana, thank you very much for your informative and insightful speech. I learned a lot out of it. You unpacked the white paper, and it was so relevant in what we are doing. And I hope you have seen that we're trying a little bit to be innovative. But I think we can do more through what you have told us this evening. So we want to thank you for taking time to be part of us this evening, and I hope you enjoyed yourself. And finally, to the hotel management and staff. Thank you very much for opening this venue for us and for making it look so beautiful. I'm aware that you have some eats for us, and thank you very much for everything you always providing for us when we are here. I think that's all from me, and I thank the program director for leading us. Thanks, Professor Brown. You must give yourself a round of applause. Thank you very much for guiding us, for guiding our program. It went very well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Namlomo, for those thoughts. Wonderful vote of thanks indeed. Okay, so we have come to the end of this phase of the program. Now it's time for us to eat and dance and to continue the conversation. So, as you can see, the eating area is to our left and to our right. I am going to suggest that the top table can go to my right and maybe eat from there. We'll allow the top table to go first, and of course, this side is free. We just get ourselves going as early as you would like, but immediately after the top tables finish taking theirs, then of course we are free to also go and take from that side. In the middle of all of this, it would be nice to have some soothing music in the background. I know the band is very close to us and it's heavy beating, but it will be useful to have a bit of a tone down. Um, and then on your table, we have different variety of wines, and whether it's red or white, and juice and so on. Please feel free. So let's eat. Thank you.